Hey everybody, Logan's back in the long drive. Let's hop into it, shall we? Oh yeah, okay, this is good. I've missed this. I love this game. I love this game so much. It's just so relaxing. I just get to hang out with you guys and talk. We get to drive down the road, see what kind of shenanigans we get into. I quite enjoy it. Quite enjoy it until I run off the road. Okay. Oh, okay. There, rock. Okay, we're fine. Okay. Alright. So, last time we found this handy dandy little odometer. It does not fit, but it works. That's what matters. Hopefully we will find one that actually belongs in this car before long. However, if we don't, we can still see that we started at about, I'm going to say 44 or 43 kilometers. Which, because this is not the odometer that goes with this car, we are looking at kilometers, not miles per hour. So we got to keep that in mind. It's also reading out speed in kilometers, not miles, which is super confusing. But I guess it's really not, because this is the only car that works in miles and miles per hour. But it's fine. We understand kilometers well enough. Which, speaking of, been playing that new, well, it's not new, it's like 4 years old, but the PC port of Spider-Man. And everything is in meters, which I don't get. It's like, oh, you need to get across town to do mission. Go 2,000 meters. I'm like, why are you telling me to go 2,000 meters? Why not, like, I don't know, a mile and a half? It's an American game, set in America. It's an American hero. Wouldn't it make more sense to be in miles or feet or something than meters? Ooh, building. Going too fast. Slow it down, car. There we go. And we turn. And we turn. And we turn. There we go. Bus spawned in. We don't really need a bus. What else is there? Dang. 3 other cars. Holy cow. Well, I've been complaining about vehicles not spawning in, and here we are. Jeez. Well, let's see. I don't think there's anything that we really want, but it's worth a look. Thought I saw a rabbit, but I think it was the light bouncing off of that rock. Alright, so 2 of... looks like the Trabants, I guess. One of these ugly little things. We don't need any of that. There's a big old barrel. Nope, it's empty. Dang. So somebody had a good idea, and I actually tried it, and it does work. I don't know if practically it would be feasible. So basically what they had mentioned was kind of coming over, get away, to our fuel tank, and then rigging up like a basket with a barrel or a jerry can in it, so that it would constantly drip feed fuel into the fuel tank, which it does work. I tried it. It worked surprisingly well. The problem, of course, is that you have both tanks wide open, and with both tanks wide open, any kind of wreck is going to cause it to go bananas. So unless we can come up with some way to mitigate that, I don't know that it's the most feasible answer. Though it does, like I said, it does work. Here's another Sophia. I don't remember what we did with Sophia. I think she might still be in the trunk, but we're going to put this one on. There we go. So Christine has a buddy, Sophia. We're going to put that in the fuel tank. There is a rabbit, so we are going to get out of here. I do not like the way he's looking at us. Whoop, avoid the bus. There we go. Ooh. Alright. Following the posts on the right side of the road, not the left, because we are heading away from the start. Trying to confuse the crap out of me. I'm not falling for it. I'm not going to fall for it. Oh, alright. So, feeling a little bouncy. I don't know if it's just this road or if it's Sophia again. I really don't think it's Sophia's fault. I think it's the road. We'll give it a little bit of time and we'll see what transpires. So I hope you guys had a good week. It's been another week. I went and did one of those escape rooms last night for a second date with a girl I've been seeing, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoy the escape rooms. I actually have Escape Room Simulator that I'll play with a buddy of mine that I met when I was in college, and it's a lot of fun. But like, if you're not familiar, escape rooms, they blew up a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, something like that. You're put inside of a room, you and a group of people, with a series of puzzles that you have to solve to escape the room. So all of them have some sort of theme, like it's, I don't know, like a virus outbreak, or zombies, or the first one I did was Sherlock Holmes. So there's usually some sort of theme and a story, like, oh, you were kidnapped and you're trying to escape before your captor comes back. Something like that. The one I did last night was a music concert. You go to see a band, and while you're there, you overhear one of the band people talking about killing the lead singer to replace him. Well, they find you, you get thrown into a closet, and you have to escape. So that was pretty fun. You had to figure out some clues, put a puzzle together, get a couple of locks undone, crawl through this like little hallway, and then into another like dressing room and solve all the puzzles in there. We did it. You have like an hour limit, and at that 1 hour limit, you're cut off. Like, time's up. I think we got out. It was just the two of us, me and her. We got out in 52 minutes and some change, so we had about 7 minutes left. So we did pretty good. We got hung up on one thing because we couldn't tell if it was part of the game or not. It looked like it was, but it also looked like it could legitimately be like a sprinkler system for the game or for the building. So we kind of got lost for a minute. We were like, is this thing part of it? And they had to obviously explain to us that it was, and that we needed to stop messing with it the way that we were. But yeah, we got out. It was a lot of fun, and I highly recommend them if you enjoy puzzles, if you enjoy that kind of thing. But you really kind of have to go in with the right mindset of puzzle solving. It's not just you're stuck in a room, escape, you know, like you're not breaking down doors, you're not doing anything like that. It's, here's a series of puzzles, solve them usually in sequence. So it's usually this will lead to this, will lead to this, so that the whole thing just kind of flows and you learn more about it as you go, like the story and all that stuff. But yeah, they're a lot of fun. I highly recommend them if that's your thing. Of course, I love puzzles, I love mysteries, things like that, so I definitely, ooh, a new hood. I don't think we need it though. So I definitely recommend them if that is what you like. We'll get some water, some poo. Come on, some poo. So we are not thirsty, we're not hungry, we don't need to potty. Just have us a nice little rest. Oh, maybe not. Oh, there we go. Oh, nope, maybe not. Yep, that didn't work so well. Oh well, we tried. Alright, so there's a truck, actually in pretty good shape. And it's a whole one too. Huh. Quack, quack, quack. Well, that's a whole dang truck. Oh. Oil, of course. Has an engine. Man, that's a whole bloody truck. You don't really see that whole lot anymore. Not that we need it, but it's there. Oh, alright. Guys, I've got to get a new office chair. So I think I mentioned it before, like, I work from home. So I'm in the same chair, like, all day. And then, of course, if I want to do anything like this on the weekends or after hours, whatever, I'm back in that same chair at my desktop. And this chair, I was really disappointed with it. I paid quite a bit for it. And it's a Serta. You know, Serta makes good stuff. They have a good reputation. I think this chair is like 3 years old, and the little gas cylinder that's supposed to keep it at the right height doesn't hold its height, so I can put it all the way up, and a few days later, just a couple, it's completely down. The little locking arm that's meant to lock the back in the right orientation will pop out, so you're just sitting here, all of a sudden you'll lean forward to do something, and it'll just slide out, and then you think you're falling to your death. The fake leather's cracked and torn, and it's not like, I have farm animals in here that are chewing on it every day. Like, it's just a chair. I sit in it. That's about it. I don't know what the big deal is with it falling apart all of a sudden. But I'm rough on things like this, I guess. Like shoes. I'm horribly rough on shoes. Never understood it. Most people are like, oh yeah, I bought a pair of whatevers and I wore them every day for a year. Yeah, if I do that, I'm wearing a pair of shoes out in 6 months. Like, holes in the soles, they're ripping apart, dirty, torn up. Doesn't matter. But the only way I can get more than 6 months out of a pair of shoes is to not wear them all the time. I have like 3 pairs that I'm alternating between when I go outside, do whatever. Which I do now. Like, I've got some shoes that I walk in, I've got some of those Hey Dudes, which they look atrocious, but they're super comfortable and lightweight. And since they don't have laces, they're easy to just slip on if I need to run out really fast or carry some trash down, whatever. And I've got my day-to-day Converse that I rock in the road that I wear. But even those are starting to get a little sad. Last time I got a new pair, I went into the Converse store. It's like a whole actual like Converse store. And I was telling the dude that I needed some new ones. There's nothing there. And I showed him how mine were doing. Like, the soles about had a hole in them. The canvas had ripped apart from the seam on the side. He looks at me, he's like, man, those are in rough shape. He's like, you must like do a lot of skateboarding. I'm like, dude, I've never touched a skateboard after I fell off one 3 times in a day. So he just kind of obviously laughed about that, but he's like, dang, he's like, for them to be falling apart like that, I would think you were on them, like on a skateboard every single day. Like, no, just rough on shoes apparently. It is what it is. It's expensive though, especially with the price of shoes. Speaking of the prices of things, like, I know the inflation that's going on is nothing new to any of you guys, but holy crap. I was talking to my dad earlier, and we were talking, like, I filled my truck up with gas earlier. I had a coupon for 15 cents off a gallon, so I pay like $3.20 something, which is insane, but whatever. Anyway, when I was young, 10-ish around there, I guess, I remember $20 would fill up a gas tank. Did not matter what kind of car you were in, $20 would fill that tank up. If it was, obviously a smaller car, smaller tank, whatever, 8, 12, $15, whatever. But $20. Somebody hands you $20, says, hey, go fill my car up, and you would usually come back with some change. I mean, obviously not a semi or something, but like a regular passenger vehicle, even, pickup trucks, would $20 fill it up entirely. My truck, my little Toyota Tacoma, $60 in gas. I mean, granted, I had to run it down to about 1/8 of a tank, but still, that's $60. So just in the time that I can remember, because, when I was born, gas was like 80-something cents a gallon, but I don't remember that, of course. So, yeah, it's went up like 300% just in the years since I can remember. It's absolutely insane. Now, the one thing I will say, everybody wants to talk about college and how much the price of tuition has went up and how expensive college is. And while, yes, I absolutely agree, college is ridiculously expensive, it's not like they're just jacking that up and pocketing all this money. I mean, yeah, some schools like Harvard probably are. But your normal, everyday colleges, they're not rolling in the money. I mean, some professors are going to be making quite a bit more than others, just supply and demand. I know when I was in college, I just went to the state university, and there was this whole big deal because they were looking for ways to save some money, and they said, we're going to start cutting back on things like philosophy and art. And so it was a state school, so all the salaries were public. So we're finding out, some of these business professors are making $100,000 a year, $110,000 a year, and these philosophy professors are making 30. And so there's like almost riots on campus, people marching across campus to demonstrate because, well, that's just unfair. But what they don't understand, at the end of the day, if you have a degree in philosophy, you're pretty much going to teach philosophy. It's not like there's, a huge market for bachelor's degrees in philosophy in the real world. Whereas a PhD in economics, that's going to get you a job at any Fortune 500 company in the world. So there's a bit of a difference. Like, they have to pay them more to get them out of the workforce and into academia. So it's like, yeah, it is a bit crazy, but you're also not just paying for your tuition and your professors. There's parking upgrades, there's maintenance, there's security, there's technology, there's everything that goes into a school behind the scenes that most people just don't think about. I mean, I know I didn't until I worked at one. You got the registrar's office that handles records and grades and diplomas. They have to have a full staff of people that have to be paid a decent wage. Otherwise, they're not going to do it. You have to have an admissions department to get people in the door to have more students to keep paying the bills. You have to have security to make sure everybody's safe. You have to have technology to make sure the computers are working. And it just goes on, and a lot of people don't realize it. But as everything else goes up, those salaries have had to go up with it to a degree. So it's like, yeah, it's gotten more expensive. So honestly, I don't know what the answer would be. I mean, they say, oh, well, college just shouldn't be that expensive. The government should step in and make college cheaper. All that's going to do is make the college or the government pay for it, which means it's coming out of your tax dollars, which means your taxes go up to pay for it. So I don't know. It's one of those things I say I don't know on here a lot when I bring these kind of topics up, because I don't know what the answer is. There's people a lot smarter than me that have tried to figure that out, and clearly they've not come to a solution yet. So it is what it is. There's not much I can do other than provide my input if somebody asks for it, which, let's be honest, nobody asked for it. So I come on here and I ramble while we drive through the desert. That's what we do. That's what I do anyway. You guys like to hang out with me for some reason, but I appreciate it. I always welcome you. If you want to talk to me about it, leave me a comment. I always like reading your guys' comments, ideas, thoughts, opinions. If you want to call me a stupid butthead, that's fine too. Prefer you didn't. Hope you like me, and that's why you're here. But if you do have a problem, let me know. Maybe I hurt your feelings talking about Ugly Sonic. Which, I mean, let's be honest, Ugly Sonic was just atrocious. Which I thought it was amazing when they brought him back in that Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie. It was just wonderful seeing Ugly Sonic. So that they're kind of just like leaning into it like, this is funny because he's so ugly. Which really, really makes me think that that whole thing was a marketing ploy. I know I've talked about it, I've said my piece, I'm not going to go through it again. But the fact that they put him in there and I had a good chuckle really, to me, says that the whole thing was a marketing gimmick. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But I think it was. Oh, it's getting into the night. Oh man, we're already at 90 kilometers. So we started at, what I say, 44? 43? Yeah, so we're making really good time. Look at us go. Oh, there's a house. Let's pull up here for the night. I was asleep right outside the creepy abandoned house. And then we will see if there's anything of interest in the morning. Which I about want to say there won't be. There's a trailer. Ooh. Although there is a bumper for this thing. Let's see if it's a front or a rear bumper. Looks like a, what is that, a front bumper? Let's slap it on the back and see. I can never tell the difference. Yep, that's a front. We don't need... Yeah, whatever. Leave it. Oh, another autosave. There's another trailer inside. There's a radio. There's a bucket, a couple of beds, a mirror. Why did none of these buildings have doors? That's super creepy. Maybe they got rid of them because of the aliens. There's a fridge. Are we hungry? We're a little hungry. Have a bite of a sausage link. And we're gonna hop right back in, Christine, and off we go. But yeah, that Spider-Man game, really good. I know I was curious with all the upgrades I've done to the computer, how it would handle it. And let me tell you, maxed out settings, ray tracing, full bore, the game is glorious, absolutely gorgeous. Wonderful, and the swinging animations and movement in the game is so fluid that it just feels amazing. Like, you really feel like you're just kind of zipping through as Spider-Man. Like, you look at the Batman Arkham games, they have a lot more clunky movement, but that makes sense. You know, you've got Batman, who's just this big, bulky, muscular dude stomping around in what's effectively armor, versus Spider-Man, who's like 5'8", 5'10", 130 pounds, little skinny dude, whipping around all over the place. So they did a really good job of kind of making you feel like you have this light, easy movement. And then I don't really... No, it's 4 years old. I don't care, I guess, at this point. The whole storyline has been pretty good. I'm about... I think I said I'm 70% done with the game. And, I mean, less than a week. I've been playing a lot of it, though. But, starting out working with Otto Octavius, and just what... I mean, of course, everybody knows he's Doc Ock. Watching that slow descent as you're helping him work on this stuff, work on these animatronic prosthetics, and watching that slow descent as he turns into Doc Ock was just fantastically executed. I mean, honestly, I thought it was a lot better in Spider-Man 2, the movie, of course. Just the way that they handled it throughout the whole time, and seeing bits and pieces here and there as it starts to transform from just like a prosthetic arm into the arm that can expand into the like long octopusy arms that he has, and then like finding his goggles, seeing that he's making all these, I think he said they were like 3D printed but panels, and he's like, oh, it's for a defense contract. And then when all the, I guess it's the Sinister Six probably, break out, and they're all wearing those panels that you saw him working on, and you see that he was really building toward this the whole time. Fantastic. Just amazing storytelling. I loved it. And I really like the costume selections too. That's always a lot of fun for some reason. Especially a character like Spider-Man or Batman, whatever, that's had so many iterations of their costume. What is... Oh, that's just the frame of a car. It's had so many iterations of... Stop. Of their iconic suits over the years, being able to pick and choose and say, oh, I've always liked this version, and being able to play with it. Like, this one has tons of suit options. I mean, from all the modern movies, the classic suit, new stuff, things from like specific ones, the noir suit, the Future Foundation, all that good stuff. And just being able to put those on and see that version of Spider-Man zipping around was a lot of fun. The combat's pretty good. So I'm probably going to catch some flack for this, but it's fine. So when I play superhero games, I don't want a huge challenge for non-bosses. So like the Arkham games, the Spider-Man games, stuff like that, I do not want to feel like dropping into the middle of like 3 street thugs. Spider-Man's gonna get his butt kicked, and die in the middle of the street. Same with Batman, whatever. Like, 5, 6 thugs, they should be taken out relatively easily. So I usually end up playing those on like the easiest difficulty. Just because I don't want, like I said, Batman to be fighting 2 guys and get his butt kicked. Because like, these are street level thugs. Like, yeah, if I'm fighting Two-Face or Rhino or Scorpion, whatever, yeah, they should pose more of a threat. They should put the skills that you've learned through the game on the street level thugs to the test. Make you use all of it. So I always put those on easy. Now the one thing I really hate, I absolutely hate, is when ranking up the difficulty doesn't make the game harder. It just gives you less health and your enemies more health. Because there's nothing worse, especially like, say like a first person shooter, than playing on a harder difficulty. You get a really nice beat on an enemy, the sniper rifle, pop, and they just shrug it off and they start looking around. They're like, something happened. It's like, dude, I just took a quarter of your health with a headshot. Like, that should not happen. So that was one thing. Ghost Recon Wildlands, yeah, did amazingly well. Is changing the difficulty basically just makes your enemies smarter or stupider, dumber, whatever. Like, you crank the difficulty up and it's like one-shot kills. Like, they hit you once and you're done. Maybe 2 or 3 if you're lucky, because it's more realistic. But it's the same for them. They don't have infinite health, they don't have super hearing, it's just a lot more lifelike. Or you turn the difficulty down, you have more shots before you're downed, they don't hear you as easily, things like that. Pew, soccer ball. So I thought they did it. Oh, close. So I thought they did a really good job with that. Alright. So I think we're gonna park right here. Because we checked this guy out, we're at 106 kilometers. We left at, I want to say around 44, so we actually did about 60 kilometers today. So I think we're gonna call it right here, friends. We have explored this place. We've made it 60 plus kilometers. We threw autosave, a bumper on the back of Christine that doesn't really fit, but it's fine. It'll give her some protection if we need it. But guys, other than that, I think we're going to call it here. I'm Logan. This is The Long Drive. If you like this, leave me a comment, leave me a like, a subscribe if you haven't. All those good things that people say to get you to subscribe to their channels. Let us know. If there's something you want to see, let me know. If there's something you don't want to see, let me know. If you like this, let me know. If you didn't like this, let me know. So guys, once again, thank you so much for watching. I'm Logan, this is The Long Drive, and I will catch you next time.